Hello everyone and welcome to Skullgirls Get Gr8. This is the audio test. We will be starting soon. Please let me know if any of the commentators this week are a little too loud or a little too quiet. We want all of us to be about equally as loud, and the game should be just barely audible. If there are any recommendations that you would like to provide, please feel free to do so. We want the stream to be just perfect for you. What do we got? Finas una hora. Something about wrong hour, wrong stream and language. There you go. Lo siento, pero no puedo hablar en español. Where are we? What's happening? The Brazilian Duck. That's what I'm talking about. It's a good name. I like that name. What else we got going on? Actually, I spoke in Spanish. If you're actually Brazilian, you speak Portuguese, don't you? Now I feel like an asshole. I'm sorry. I feel like a complete asshole. I guess to be fair, I said in Spanish, I don't know how to speak Spanish, so that's only fair. Damn, I probably scared him off. Hey there, Dunce. Well, what indeed? How is it going? We're gonna go ahead and get started in like 3 minutes. As a heads up for everyone who's here and everyone who's not here, if at any point you want to sign up for Skullgirls Get Gr8 and the signups are not out, at me, and I will make them like right away. More often than not, the only reason they're not up is because I forgot. And that happens a lot. Now, I'll usually remember by Wednesday, but like sometimes like things come up and I'm just all over the place, you know, like I'm making excuses at this point, but I have like 4 companies and shit, and like I'm like jumping between 2 spots and shit. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, but as soon as you know that it's not there, as soon as you know that signups are not up, I got you, fam. Just hit me up. I'll do it. Check like an hour before when you finally saw. Yeah. My bad. What do we got? Is it almost time? It is time. Alright, we're gonna probably go ahead and get started. Assuming Doc and Dan Mist are here. I know Dan Mist is here. I saw them in chat. Doc is not in chat, but I mean, I'm sure they're right around the corner. So, we only got 4 people this time. That's probably my fault. Didn't advertise the signups. Just kind of shoved them in at the last second. I'm changing it from 3 to 5 because that's what it was supposed to be for the last 2 weeks and I just kept forgetting. 5. There. We will be playing 5 matches this week. 5 games flat. It is your turn now as soon as we find Doc. BG8. I know you wanted second, but it sounded like you just wanted to go as early as possible and Doc needed to go first, and you're a good opponent for Doc. He is here. Fantastic. Doc is here. That is good to hear. I don't need to type at Doc anymore. Why? I was like staring at my disc. Like I'm like, oh good, Doc is here. Now let me go back to what I was doing. And I was messaging Doc. Like, what am I doing? Doc versus Dan Mist is up first. Everyone, welcome to Skullgirls Get Gr8. What we do here is we match you up against a relatively even opponent, and then provide constructive criticism on your play. We won't tell you everything that's wrong with your play, but just what you need to focus on most. And also, especially when the skill level's pretty high, I won't be able to tell you anything really sometimes. And a lot of it just comes down to the fact that a lot of these players are playing cleanly at this point. Hopefully I can provide some constructive criticism. That's the goal here. I want to give you guys something to practice every single day until the next week so we can work on improving your gameplay a little bit at a time. With me is absolutely nobody, and that's okay. Who needs a co-host? Your controller has adopted this annoying habit of disconnecting seemingly at random. Oh yeah, Sam's controller does that. My what's it called? My light punch button stopped working. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't work. The button itself just turns off every like 10 minutes or so for like 30 seconds. It sucks. Next Saturday is the 4th. What? If you want it to be lab... Oh, shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 4th Saturday is the 4th Saturday. Got it. Alright, updating the thing real quick. Shit, fuck. I fucked up. What else is new? Why am I bad at this? 24. So this will be 31st of October. Halloween, I think. I don't know. I don't know Halloween if Halloween's even a holiday. Ain't nobody got time to be going around collecting candy when I could buy candy twice as fast. Being an adult is dangerous. Alright, what do we got? Alright, right away. Right away, the instant overhead. That sucks. Yeah, Beowulf is a bitch. I don't know what else to tell you. There's, like, not exactly something you can do about that. You can call assist and then, like, prepare to pillar in response, but, like, there's no clean solution to that, as far as I know. Beowulf's tough to deal with. It also depends on what assist you're using. Like, are you running axe or butchers? Like, then you're fine. I mean, we're never gonna find out. Oh shit, the set play was not clean. The set play is clean. There's no miss lethal, just hilarious BM. I don't even like her stone, and that meme has just been around forever for me. What do we got? Okay, Wolfshoot does not work off of that. Go figure. If you were just trying to close spacing, then you should have blitzed forward and then down. You can't. Alright, so the way boat works, boat is a sweep, right? So the reason you can convert off a boat with DP is if they're already in a knockdown state, you can hit them with sweep and then use OTG to convert, basically, is how that works. So, like, if they are already falling over and then they purple bounce, you can hit them with boat and it won't count, it won't apply the sweep properties to it. And that sounds very technical because it is. Long story short, though, you can only if they're already in a knockdown state can you hit them with sweep and then convert with the TP. You've traded your ability. Nice. I was in the middle of something. What did I just do? Oh yeah, I said that to October 31st, so I'm going to scroll up to this. Edit message. That was for October 31st. Not 21. 31. Yeah, buddy. Oh. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Mine sign-ups for 10/31. Next week is live stream. AKA the only day off I get. Let's see. Trade your ability to consistently do the hop, jumping, medium, kick link, or getting taunt mid combo. It's a horrible trade, but I mean, I guess that's essential for your set play, so what the fuck would I say about that?
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
Right, let's go. Snap. We dash up. No! You gotta dash, my dude. Okay. The thing is, the last string you did, you can just watch your character. By the way, one of the best bit of advice I can give you for any player in the world is you're gonna hate this, but watch your sets after you play them. Like, end to end, watch your sets. And just, on a notepad or whatever, write down a moment where you fucked up, where you probably should not have fucked up. Like, I'm not telling you to write down all of your mistakes, that's pointless. Write down moments where you fucked up, where you know what you're supposed to do, and then, like, basically make it a key point that you gotta drill those out. In that specific situation, you should have seen that in the last string, you were pushing yourself very far away, so when you snapped, you were a solid character model away from the edge of the screen, so you needed a dash to convert, and sometimes against, like, heavy characters, you wouldn't even be able to do that. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah. Pay attention to your positioning, but more importantly, don't use strings that put you far away when you want to snap in that specific situation. Okay, so you are running Axe Assist. That is the correct answer. Good shit. You're not supposed to really use it to cover you while you are zoning, per se. You usually want to be in their face while calling Axe, because if they press anything while Axe is coming out, they die. They get hit, and you get a full combo off of that. If they don't press anything, and then you stop pressing buttons just as Axe hits them, you're plus, right? Parasol is one of those characters where if she's plus, she'll stay plus forever. And if you're running Axe or Butcher's Assist, any team is plus forever. There's not a moment where you should not be plus. Ah, no, yeah, you have to call your assist when you're doing that, so something's keeping you safe. Unfortunate. So one of the reasons I don't like the Parasol Eliza shell, but a lot of people do, is you don't have a safe DHC option. So I was about to make a comment where it's like, you should be looking for an opportunity to DHC. And it's like, that only works if you get a hit first, right? Which is very unfortunate. However, you do have alpha counters. So what that means is, since you're running Axe, your opponent is going to be forced to respect you, right? So in a moment's notice, if you are blocking a medium, you can alpha counter into Axe and you'll probably be fine. I'm not an Eliza player, so I can't tell you that 100% of the time. Like, you'd have to lab out the scenarios where that works and doesn't work. But it's pretty much the only option you have for getting Parasol out of there. And you want Parasols to stay on your team, not just because of whatever assist you're running, but because she offers a safe DHC out, right? So if Eliza needs to get out, now you have another way back in with Parasol. And on top of that, you want Parasol in a lot of times. So if you set play into killing your opponent, and then using DHC to get Parasol in, then you get to play the best neutral character in the game. Well, second best. Tied for best. Some people say she's the best, some people say she's second best. But one of the best neutral characters in the game. Parasol gets you the hit, you switch to Eliza for the damage. That's how it works. And if you're not able to get the hit with Parasol, then alpha counter. Keep Parasol alive. Keeping at least 2 characters alive is such an important skill. And it comes with practice.
Let's do this in one take.
Why are you throwing out Jumping Hard Punch, Doc? There might be a reason. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to cover. Try to be a little bit more deliberate. Like, you got hit there and took a bunch of unnecessary damage on your Beowulf, and even your Peacock, because you're throwing out Jumping Hard Punch, without any intent. I can only assume it was no intent. I'm not quite sure what you were specifically trying to achieve with that specific option. It just looked like you were like, it looked like the, I don't know. I don't want to say the Windows loading screen, but like the spinning wheel of death. Like I just imagine like the Mac spinning wheel of death, just kind of winding through your brain, being like, all right, I'm gonna press Jumping Hard Punch until I figure out what to do. And if that's actually what was happening, then I mean, now you know what happens. Get a new loading screen. I don't know. See. Bird Insurance was not exactly the best option there, but I can see why you did it. The spacing was all sorts of weird, but like, I mean, there's not much else you could really do in that situation. So let's see, we're at game 4? Yeah, it was 4 games. Let's see. There's not much I can really say about Peacock and Ban because they're never out right now. Right now, Dan Mist just needs to focus on getting a hit, and then getting rid of Beowulf so they can start focusing on the rest of your team. Right now, this is just Beowulf versus the world, which is unfortunate. But with Beowulf, like, the thing about Beowulf is just, like, he's great when he has a bunch of buttons to cover him, like assist and stuff. But if he's also, like, a big factor of how your set play works with that specific shell, right? Like, without Beowulf, your team still does a bunch of damage, but it's a very different game. So if you want to play your game, you need to keep Beowulf healthy. Even though he's not necessarily the beefiest part of your team, he is a core part of your team. And because of that, you can't be taking spare damage like that. Alright, chair throw. Alright, cool, you picked it up. Boom. Slam it on the chair, pick up the chair, get an extra height. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's looking cleaner and cleaner every time, though. Like, I do have to say, Doc, like, your set play is getting... Like, right now you're just doing random resets and stuff, but you don't have a game plan. But, like, all the fundamental pieces of your plan are there. It's like if you were making, like, a good old jigsaw puzzle, like, you managed to find all the corner and edge pieces and made the frame. Like, all that fundamental stuff is there. I was just filling in the gaps. Which is pretty cool to watch. You've come a long way. Alright, cool. So I want to see what your Peacock can do. That works. Okay. That didn't work. 50-50. That's alright. I wasn't paying attention, Dan missed. I don't know if you raw tagged out or alpha countered in. I hope you alpha countered in, but if you didn't, that's fine too. Sometimes throwing out a raw tag is not the worst thing in the world. Just don't make it a habit. It is not your only get out option. Just remember that. It is incredibly important that you remember that. Is Eliza's crouching medium K okay on block? No, if I remember correctly. Thank you, Capai. It's apparently -11. There you know. Both hits? Are both hits -11? I thought like the first one was like not safe, but it was like safe-ish, like -8 or something. If you didn't, or can you not cancel this at the end of the first hit? You might not be able to. Never mind. It's also easy PBGC. That is a very good point. Thank you, Hydra. You actually, I don't play Eliza. Can you not stop after the first hit? You have to commit to both hits. Unless you car cancel, I guess you might have to. Yeah, shit. That's crazy. Well, unless you car, yeah, exactly. But like, that you're only making it easier to PBGC if you're gonna car it into like light spiral or whatever, right? So, man, Eliza's hard. She's also very dumb. She's like easy and hard at the same time. She's hard to be safe, but once you get a hit, like, who cares? You can just turn your brain off and it just kills the other person. Alright, off to dinner. Have a nice meal, Doc. Thank you two for playing. You guys did fantastic. Just there's a bunch of random like stuff I basically talked about. Like, don't throw out random buttons without intent for Doc. Like, have a specific set of reset patterns ready, Doc. Like, start building your set play. Like, start having a pattern of actions you want to do. And for Dan Mist, just focus on keeping your parasol alive. Like, switching between your characters with like at opportune moments without being stuck with only one character. Your team doesn't work as solos. Both those characters have been played solo, but your team honestly just thrives so much more when it's Parasol with Axe Assist to get the hit, DHC into Eliza to get the damage. Like, that's how you want to play it. So try to keep both the characters alive. I also mentioned that, like, pick a god and pray to survive the Beowulf round start instant overhead, because, like, it's like, fuck. I don't know. Beowulf's instant overhead is really fucking dumb and annoying. It's really, really good. How do you sweep to convert? Blah, blah, blah. It's like basic fundamental Eliza stuff. And I don't think I saw you finish a full BNB. Do that. Make sure you can do your full BNB. Make sure you're labbing that. Make sure you're consistent with it. When you get a hit confirm, you gotta make everything of it. I also think Dan Mist would benefit from experimenting with block strings towards the end. I was punching consistently once he got me into blockstun. Okay, you heard it from Doc directly. Block strings. Well, the thing is, like, you were just checking time. You have a test in 1 hour. Okay, all right. It's block strings are interesting. Not god performance. Not good performance. It's not about good or bad, right? I want people to understand this really, really thoroughly. And I need you to get this through your skull, damn this. This is so critically important. And I'm biased because I don't tilt very easily. Like, I don't, like, let emotions get the best of me. But the fact of the matter is, Skullgirls is a very emotional game, and your emotional state will impact your gameplay whether you think it does or it doesn't. It just does. It's a fact, and it's a proven fact. You can't tell yourself you got bad performance, you got good performance. Think about the input and expect the output. That's the way I do it. I'm not saying everyone can do that. People learn in different ways. Some people need encouragement, some people need to be put down. But think about input, think about output. For what you did, you made a few mistakes, and the results showed it. That's how you should think of it. It's not that you played poorly. It's just the mistakes you need to fix will fix your performance. Which is a very dumb statement, but it's a very important statement. If that didn't make any sense, please tell me and I'll word it differently. Because it is an extremely important fact. Oops, that's not what's supposed to happen. Alright. Alright, you understand. Alright, cool. Don't focus on whether you played well or poorly. Focus on the fact that you made mistakes and they had an effect on the game output or outcome. And if you fix those mistakes, it'll affect the outcome. I like the attempt that you tried to jab on their wake up. I think you overcommitted. I think you pressed 2 hits of Standing Light Punch Frosty, and because of that, your opponent's pillar hit you. If you just throw out Light Punch once, pillar's slow enough startup that you actually would have been able to block that afterwards. So this is tricky, right? Because you're playing a solo. This game is not designed for solos. This game has very, very good reversal tools and things like that. So when you are throwing out buttons like that, you need to keep in mind, what can my opponent do? And you always need to have options to cover that. When you don't have an assist, you have fewer options to cover it. You can't down back and call assist on their wake up, so they're forced to block it, you know? They obviously can't call pillar if you're calling an assist and you're down backing on wake up or whatever. Otherwise they have to burn meter like bike, super, or whatever to try and potentially, you know, like prevent you from punishing their pillar. That won't always work. You'll sometimes have answers for it, so on and so forth. So more often than not, people just wake up respecting you and down backing. But when you're playing a solo, your opponents don't have to respect you. You don't have options. So you have to scare them into tricking them into thinking you do have options, which it sounds really dumb, but that's basically the fact. So if you press Standing Light Punch a little bit early on their Oki, and then just don't press anything else, they're gonna be like, oh shit, my opponent's pressing buttons, let me pillar. And then they get punished for it, and they have to eat shit and die, you know? So, like, be careful what buttons you press. Skullgirls is a game with a lot of buttons, but more interestingly, the better you play, the fewer of those buttons you will actually press. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Alright, side switch, you didn't need to do that, you should just finish your combo. Next time, finish your combo. Pay attention to your opponent's health. Like, you always want to be loosely... There's a thing in StarCraft where you can tell how good a player is based on how often you can watch their pupils fly to the bottom left. If you watch their eyeballs, like, swing to the bottom left, like, 100 times a game, or 1,000 times a game, what they're doing is they're keeping an eye on the minimap, right? Swing your eyes at the health bar and meter every now and then. Find gaps and opportunities, points where you're neutral, where you know exactly what the outcome's about to be, because you don't need to watch it. You know exactly what's about to happen. So glance at the health bars, glance at the meter, get a good awareness of the situation. I know you probably thought Local Dun Slayer, you're like, oh, I'm fine, like, level 3 will kill. There's no reason not to car there and just do extra damage anyway, you know? Just do it. Unless you're 100% sure. I mean, I guess you were... I can see why you might have been 100% sure, so maybe I won't say that. Like, I guess it's just... I'm just gonna say it's unfortunate. In that situation... Like, don't take risks if you can help it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But in that situation, like, I would have also just controller dropped and just being like, I killed him! Hooray! Doc, you bring up an excellent point. It is important to talk about what people did well, so people aren't fixing mistakes that aren't there. At least that's my reason for I think it's important for people to talk well. And I'm glad you pointed those things out. I'm glad you pointed out that like he was punishing drops and what's it called? Yeah, yeah. He was punishing drops and you elaborated on that pretty well. Good shit. Okay, SBO. That only works because she has wide legs, otherwise that spacing was wrong. That would have not worked on Eliza or Squiggly from that spacing. And sometimes not Painwheel, that depends. It's okay to sprinkle that in there, make sure you don't ever do that consistently. You don't always want to add end that in the command grab. I'm glad you threw it in there though. It forces your opponent to respect it, means they can't press buttons right away afterwards. Good shit. After the command grab though, you basically have a full combo if I remember correctly. So you don't need to just kind of go into super and call it a day. You can do a lot more than that. If you have a full B&B, and I'm not positive that you do, but if you have a full B&B, then the next thing you should work on is off the command grab. What was your full combo? Like just lab it out, like try or like look it up or whatever, or ask people around. Do whatever you need to do. But this game is about filling in a bunch of gaps with more combos. Like that's how team fighters work. It's a team fighter fundamental. So, in that situation, if you find yourself getting a lot of hits by throwing in a command grab at the end, learn how to do a full combo afterwards. Show me the full BMB. Oh, almost. At least blocked. Good shit. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do about that. I completely understand. Unfortunate. Playing Solo Val is extra hard. She's got no real reversal option. It's very unfortunate. What are we at? Game... That was 3 games? 2 games? 3. Okay. If I'm talking too fast, let me know. I'll take a deep breath and like try to slow down and explain things. So I do know I try to cram in as much information as I can. For your benefit. But honestly, you'd be doing me a favor because I'm burning out my vocal cords by doing this. Alright, let's see. I like that you're spacing with jumping leg kick. I like that you converted, but then you didn't commit. You should have just gone into a full combo there. Or not, maybe not a full combo, but like at least half an undizzy bar. This is something I can't emphasize enough, and I'm sure both of you have heard me say this 100 times, but just in case. Undizzy management is the reason you reset. Reset has a handful of benefits, right? You unscale your combo, right? So you get a whole bunch more damage. You reduce your opponent's meter gain, you increase your own meter gain. Like you get a bunch of benefits out of it, but the biggest reason you reset is because you have to manage an undizzy bar. If you don't reset, the undizzy bar does not drain. If the undizzy bar maxes out, then there's a delay before it drains. So you don't want to do a full undizzy bar and then reset, and you definitely don't want to reset too early because there's no undizzy to drain, right? So usually string 3 or string 4, when the undizzy bar is about halfway full, that's when you really want to focus on doing a reset. That's why a lot of people start expecting resets halfway through your opponent's combos. And that's why a lot of people will reset early, because they're trying to trick their opponent, because who in their right mind would reset early? But if you're resetting early right away, then you're not really... You're punishing yourself by resetting early. Yes, it might work a little bit more often for you, but that's because it's technically a worse option, and people aren't expecting it. That was a very long-winded explanation for me to say reset later. But hopefully give some context. That was almost clever, not quite. So if you want to do that, local dunce, if you want to do that, this is what you do. You crouching medium kick, you can actually turn hitboxes on in the lab and test this out. This is actually really interesting. When you press crouching medium kick, your body hitbox, your body box slides forward at your feet. So what ends up happening is at max distance of crouching medium kick, like when your feet are all the way out, if you cancel that into standing or into center stage, into quarter circle forward medium punch, you will zip forward. And then if you do that and go to Daisy, you got an extra 2 inches on the screen, basically. Not 2 inches, like an extra, basically, character model distance on your opponent. So if you're trying to catch your opponent zipping up on you and want to catch them off guards, throw a crouching medium kick and then cancel that into center stage. Go into SBO to keep it safe, go into Daisy if they're close enough to you and still in their dash animation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. That's a good tool. Let's see if I can say anything about vials this time around, because I don't think I've seen Frosty use vials, and it's kind of tricky when you're a solo, because you have to look for a sliding knockdown opportunity, you know what I mean? Or like any sort of hard knockdown, really, before you can really load a vial. But it's still important. Okay, so don't just hold back. Walking backwards is stupid. I'll put that really bluntly. The only reason the only time you'll ever find yourself walking backwards is if you're standing blocking, in which case you should have been up backing anyway. So what you should do instead, alright, I like that you've loaded vial, that is good. I want you to throw a shuriken without using up your vials. I want to see if you've got that down. You should still feel free to zone, just be afraid to, or just press the buttons lightly so you don't accidentally use your vial up. What else? Hey, when you were walking backwards, you could have either been backdashing, which is interesting for Valentine because she can get the air dash, and then if you get the air dash afterwards, then obviously you can, like, from the air throw out a scalpel. You can up back and then throw out a scalpel. You can forward throw out a scalpel. You can, you shouldn't be walking, is what I'm trying to say. You have better movement options that you could be using in that situation. Val's a very fast character. She's a ninja. Take advantage of it. Yeah, there you go. Frosty, I certainly hope you're not listening to me while we were playing, or while you were playing. Reminder that if you are playing, make sure you pause the stream while you are playing, and watch the VOD afterwards. It just guarantees the best connection and guarantees you the best concentration. You really gotta learn a full BMB, my guy. Okay, that was... You almost messed that up. Luckily, you were high enough that it was okay. You normally want to go into bypass or anything that delays your descent, or use like Scalpel Super to punish it. I actually recommend Scalpel Super, I think, because I think it's guaranteed pretty much. And that way you won't fall into Daisy, and you buy yourself enough time to, Hold on, let me rewind there. Yeah, you buy yourself enough time so you don't fall into Daisy, and at the same time get a full conversion off of that. Because after Scalpel Super, I think you can get bypass and convert. Walking backwards again. Alright, sliding knockdown. Decide to chase with bypass. Honestly, after a sliding knockdown, I would just load Vile. I don't play Valentine, so that might not be the right answer, and I'm sure somebody's upset about me for saying that. But, like, Viles are so essential for damage for Valentine. Gotta stop holding back. Just down back. When you jump forward, immediately start holding back. You can block while moving forward. Speaking of blocking while moving forward, you can always button dash and block. You can press light punch plus medium punch at the same time. Oh, almost had a full BMB. You're almost there. Good shit. Yeah. If you press light punch plus medium punch at the same time, well, you will get a dash macro, and you will automatically be able to dash. If you start pressing back after you start dashing forward, then you are blocking the entire dash while you are moving forward, which is useful, you know. And you can always crouch cancel it because Valentine's a run and all that stuff, and that's always a thing. Squiggly inputs are cursed. Yeah, I'll bet. That was 5 games. Yes, that was. Okay, good stuff. All right. So there was a lot I talked about there. Squiggly, there's a whole bunch of tips and tricks on like using crouching medium kick and card canceling it, committing to your confirms, like your jumping leg kicks. You were using good ideas in neutral, but you gotta actually make them count. For Frosty, you gotta take more advantage of the movement options that are available to you. Don't just be scared and hold back, just like, you know, praying or whatever. If you find yourself ever, like, I mentioned this before, seriously, go back and watch yourselves play. If you ever find yourselves walking backwards, try to remember that feeling, because what that meant was you were scared. You weren't thinking, you were scared, and you held back because you didn't know what to expect. And so the thing to do in those situations is to remember those situations, so when you can catch yourself next time you do that kind of thing. And you and Mono hop in and play. Yeah, sure, go ahead. You know what? Why not? Mono and hop in. Yeah, hold on a second. You two can fight each other. What the hell was I saying? Yeah, so Valentine, use more movement options. Don't be afraid. We'll go back, watch your VODs. Get a sliding knockdown in low Vile, although that might be a hot take. Generally, you don't get a sliding knockdown until you're ready to go into bypass super anyway. If that's not going to kill, then just save the meter build a Vile. That is my honest opinion. I'm sure there are many better Valentines that'll disagree with me, but like it makes the most sense. Set yourself up so you can next hit confirm, you can get the kill, instead of just zipping towards them and then like playing this scrambly neutral again. There's no point. Make sure you're up backing, throwing out shurikens. Make sure you're practicing throwing shurikens instead of vials so you don't accidentally lose your vials. Pro players, even at Cloud King's level, accidentally use the vial when they don't mean to. So that is an existing problem at very high levels of play, so it's something you gotta start practicing now so it doesn't happen when it matters. What else? I don't know. Like, how much faster can I talk? But let's move on to the next game. We got Grey Arsenic versus Mono. Oh, cool, I got the names right. I was not wearing my glasses. Good stuff. Good old Blitzer. Like they went straight down. Didn't commit. If you're gonna throw out a button, you might as well press the next button in that combo string, because if you get the hit, you're gonna Gonna do stuff. You get blocked. Medium is still safe enough. And if you get hit out of it, then who cares? You're already being hit. Oh, that was weird. You should have gone down forward, my guy. I know you backed up because you're like, oh my god, I gotta avoid the SBO, and much like what we saw in the previous game, the instinct when you're scared is to hold backwards. But pay attention to positioning. The SBO was right where you were, so therefore you want to go away from the SBO, not just hold back.
Let's get a round of applause for our contestants.
I see Frosty asking when the VODs are up. VODs start being uploaded to YouTube as soon as the stream ends, so it's usually up within an hour or so. But if you want to watch your set right now, right after your set is done, you can go back to Twitch and watch the VOD up to this point. So you'll be able to see your entire set and all the commentary I made on it. I usually recommend waiting a couple of minutes before you go do that, just because there's often a lot of comments I make at the end of the set. Usually do like a small review as well, just so like you have bullet points on what you gotta focus on. Slam them down, immediately grab them again. I mean, they had some Undizzy on them, so I won't blame you. But then you just let the Undizzy drain while you build hype, so there's actually no point in doing that reset in the first place. You should have just done that off the first grab. Let me re-explain. Instead of resetting with a grab, you should have gone into a full combo and then gone into a knockdown and then built the hype. Nice blocks. I like the shuriken. Good frame trap. Good blitzer directions. This is neutral. You don't have to use jumping hard punch. Beowulf has an instant overhead. There you go. The instant overhead will get you pretty much every hit you ever need in a video game. Instant overhead and low. That's like just do that. Jumping hard punches is like if you're really trying to avoid a very specific hitbox, but like it's Valentine. Valentine doesn't have a DP. You're fine. Grabbed a little too soon. Everyone makes that mistake. Don't worry about it. Or I guess do worry about it. Like practice not doing that, but like don't feel bad about that. Also, I don't know why you're not playing your school team. I mean, taking your opponent easy is one thing, I guess, especially if you're learning into the character, but like... Alright, play the team you want to practice. Very aggressive resets. The on Dizzy Bar was 0. Please refer to the previous set where I did a long-ass rant explaining why you shouldn't be resetting so aggressively. The benefits you're getting are not really worth it. That'll get the kill. Don't make him watch. Appreciated. So, funny thing is, if you're not playing a solo, it is actually optimal to make them watch every single time, because your characters regain red health while that cutscene is going on. So it is 100% optimal to watch the full cutscene if you are playing on a team. Kenji pointed that out. You guys can thank him for that one. It is literally optimal to BM. It's fucking stupid. It's like in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure PS3 fighting game, it was optimal to taunt at the end of on every knockdown, because if you taunted, your opponent couldn't get up. It's not like they can move while you're taunting. It's like a cutscene pretty much. And what was the other part? There was the oh yeah, and your opponent lost meter. So not only did it piss them off, but it also took some of their meter away. So like you just would taunt on every hard knockdown. It was so stupid. You give up Oki, I guess, but like whatever. Oki wasn't that strong in that game, I don't think. Damn JP, let them watch every time. That's not actually JP, is it? Did you change your name? It doesn't look like, yeah, it doesn't look like. Ow. That just a regular JP? I was wondering, like, did you change your name? What happened, man? I like the micro dash there. That was cool. Good movement. Gray or something. A little less good movement. You're just throwing out buttons at that point. There, pick it up. Slam it onto the chair. Yes, get that hype. I don't actually know how much hype you have. You just got one hype back. You just burnt all the other hype, right? So... Oh, that was a bit of lag. That was weird. Nice blitzers. Honestly, Mona, you've been throwing out really nice blitzers. I respect that a lot. 1 level 3. Ah! I thought you were a genius for a second. I wasn't sure if that worked. But unfortunately, it obviously did, or it actually did not work. Unfortunate. But you picked it back up. It's fine. There's definitely something you could have done to kill there. That doesn't drop. That's the thing.
Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime!
Oh, got him low. I did not think that would be same side. I got hit. I like the undizzy management you're doing. Rare or something. Like, this isn't your main team, I know, but like, you're doing a pretty good job of resetting only when it makes sense to. Until then, now your opponent was at 0 undizzy. There's no reason to do it there. Come on, build it up. Build it up. There we go. We can do more than one string. Sometimes. Maybe. At the beginning of this match, you did a pretty good job managing on this. Mona, you had the right idea. That was the correct point to reset, but it didn't. That was not a reset. I'm very short. Let's see what you could have been doing there. I mean, you can always just like let them land as long as they're restanding, or get. Alright, so if you get a hard knockdown, right? Like if you use a hype, grab them and slam them down, you can always just play Oki afterwards. On the other hand. If you have them standing, you can just press, like, just do a low throw. If you don't know any good resets of Beowulf, and unfortunately I don't from the top of my head either, I'm sure the wiki has many, just go for a low throw. Crouching leg kick into grab. Off the grab you get a full combo, I think. Maybe not because Beowulf is weird, but you get an A combo. And off of low you do get a full combo, so that's cool. Obviously the low's a little bit better. Because, what's it called? It's fully unscaled. I didn't even notice the Wi-Fi. Oh no. That would explain the lag earlier. Reminder, if you are playing on an online event, I'm not demanding this like many other events, but I highly request you play on a cabled connection. It is extremely essential you play on a cabled connection for a more stable experience. It's not necessarily a faster network connection that makes a better experience. It's a more stable connection that makes the experience better. And Wi-Fi just inherently has packet drops as a part of the infrastructure, unfortunately. Nice block. Good patience. You weren't mashing. Not that mashing wouldn't have worked, but I don't think you would have gotten a full combo from corner to corner. Okay, finish this combo, please. Okay, I'll give it to you. You get the wall splat, you build a hype. See what you can do from here. Not the worst idea. You got hit. That sucks. Finish your combo. Alright. This is a problem, like, I can't tell Gr8 too much because I know this isn't his main team. He should still be able to finish that combo, from what I understand about his knowledge about Valentine, but I don't know. I mentioned this a little bit earlier in one of the previous sets. If you're playing a solo, playing Oki is tricky. When you have Beowulf, you can throw out Chair, and there's your Oki, I guess. But in general, when you don't have an assist to cover you, it's very difficult to set up something safe. Like, Parasol has tier shots, so she works a little bit more as a solo. Fortune's got her head, so she works a little bit more as a solo. With Beowulf, you have your Chair, but if you're not, you have to use it in order to have a safe Oki. That doesn't work. I thought it might work for a second. I'm surprised you only got hit by one, but it was more than obvious that from that distance it's not going to work. I like the idea, though. The idea of using a super to get super's iframes to get through it, but not quite the right decision. Kill it, kill it, kill it. That works. Chip him out. Good stuff.
Okay, nothing left to see here.
Powerline Ethernet is a good option if wires are a problem in your house. Oh, yeah. Powerline Ethernet is a thing that we talk about a lot on stream. I highly recommend it to people because anyone who has used it say it works wonders. So I highly recommend looking into that if playing on a cabled connection is not a otherwise viable option. If it works, you know? Alright everyone, thank you for joining me for Skullgirls Get Gr8. If you want to apply the skills that you're going to be practicing after all of our talks today, and you want to put it into a practical scenario, well, we do have a tournament every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, etc., etc. We follow standard major rules, same procedure, double elimination all the way through, 2 sets per round on winner side or on stream, so on and so forth. It's a fun time. But if you're just here for the advice, then do not fret. We are back every Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern, etc., etc. Reminder that the upcoming Saturday, the 24th, is in fact the lab stream. 4th Saturday of every month is a lab stream, and that does mean that Penny will be teaching you guys all about these quirky aspects about characters, as well as answering any and all questions you might have, because Penny knows everything about this game. But the Saturday afterwards, we'll be back to our scheduled programming of this. If you liked this and want to be a part of it, the signups are already out. Go ahead and sign up for the 31st. It'll be a good time. That's all I got. That's all I got to say. Thank you so much for joining us here. I am the Crank Machine, and you all are wonderful. I do the stream for you guys, so if you don't enjoy it, you guys better tell me what I gotta change, because it's for you. This is all for you. That's it. That's all I got. Have a wonderful evening.